my name is Chef Chad Sarno of Whole Foods Market, and today we're gonna work with greens. Greens are a great source of plant-based calcium and micronutrients in your diet. Some of my favorite dark greens are over here. We have some kale, you have some lacinato kale, also some Russian kale. We have some beautiful rainbow chard, some holy spinach, some collards. When it comes to greens, there's so many different applications you can work with them. One of my favorite recipes to work with greens is blending, okay? So we're gonna use some greens with blending a smoothie today. Any home blender will work, okay? And we're gonna start with lots of fruit, natural sweetness, nature's candy, right? So we're gonna start with some banana. You can use any kind of fresh fruit, frozen fruit, dried fruit, whatever you wish. And we're gonna use some raspberries and blueberries. The trick when you're adding greens to a smoothie is make sure that you add enough fruit to give it the sweetness to really cancel out the flavor of the greens, flavor of the bitterness, okay? You'll see that this, as much greens as we put in here, it is actually a little purple, which is nice. So we're gonna add some dates as well. You can add some dried apricots, which would be really nice. Also, you can spice it up, add some cinnamon, add some ginger, add a little bit of vanilla, which would be really delicious. And then I add non-dairy milk, okay? You can use any of your favorites. So you can use coconut milk, you can use almond milk, rice milk, soy milk, whatever you wish. And then I'm gonna grab some greens, okay, to make this double green smoothie. So I have some fresh spinach here. You can use some of that, okay? Nice handful of fresh spinach. And let's use some lacinato kale, okay? This nice, beautiful dark kale. See how I just drag my finger along the stem to actually remove it from the stem. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and blend that up. All right, so there we have it. And with all those greens in that smoothie, it is not green, you know? It has a great color. And this is my daughter's favorite smoothie. She's 7 years old and she absolutely loves green smoothies or smoothies packed with greens. Okay, now I'm gonna show you how to sneak some greens into one of my favorite soups. So what we have here is we have an Indian lentil soup. It's absolutely delicious, so comforting. We're gonna actually sneak some kale in there, okay? You can sneak greens in any of your favorite soups. It's a great way to get a good nutrient kick. I'm gonna go ahead and roll it, and I'm just gonna shave it up to add, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and add that to the soup. Okay, once I've added the kale, I've removed it from the heat. It just steams itself. You can add any kind of greens. You can add spinach, chard, collards. My favorite is definitely kale. Okay, I'm gonna plate this up here, bowl it up. I'm gonna go ahead and fill a big bowl of soup here. Okay, so there we have a beautiful aromatic soup. I'm gonna go ahead and garnish this now. So I have some cilantro, some fresh cilantro here. Just gonna add that to the corner. Just a nice burst of freshness. Also some fresh lemon. I'm gonna add a nice little slice to that. Okay. And then we have some diced tomatoes. Give it a little burst of freshness. Okay, and some black pepper. Gives it a nice bite as well. So there we have it, Indian red lentil soup with some kale as well. Next, I'm gonna show you how to dry some greens. We're gonna make some cheesy kale chips, one of my favorite little snacks. Okay, so what we have some kale. You choose any kale that you wish. You can use lacinato kale. Curly kale and Russian kale tend to work the best. So we have some green kale here. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and grab some Russian kale, some red Russian kale. Easiest way to stem it, you just grab the stem and drag your fingers along the stem. And then the stem is ready to be used for another recipe, or you can actually juice it as well, which is great. Okay, so we have a nice mix, beautiful mix of kale. Now, what we're going to do is we're gonna use a cashew creamy garlic sauce that you can find online. What gives it its cheesy flavors, I have some nutritional yeast in there. It's really high in B vitamins. You can get it in the bulk department. Some cashews in there, some nutritional yeast, some garlic. Go ahead and add this to the kale. And this is just a great little salad dressing anyways, just to have this as a raw kale salad. I'm gonna go ahead and mix that up. You wanna make sure that you evenly coat all those kale leaves. In the drying process, these will crisp up nicely. So I've preheated the oven to 275. You can also use a dehydrator and dehydrate it for a long period of time, which also is a great way of making these chips. So I have a sheet pan with some parchment paper. I'm gonna go ahead and just evenly spread this kale, okay? You wanna make sure there's enough room for them to dry evenly. We're gonna place these in the oven for about 40 minutes. You can flip them halfway through if you wish, but in about 40 minutes, they'll be nice and crispy and ready to eat. They've dried up nicely here. All right, let's actually serve those up. This is one of my favorite snacks. Got some parchment paper we're just gonna add in this bowl. A little hot there. It's just a great little snack. And there you have it, cheesy kale chips.